Hello and welcome back to another episode of Let's Play LOTRO with me, Balthelion, and today we are going to help Guto attack the camp that's down below us. So this has to be done in a solo instance. You can't do it with your fellows, so you're going to have to ditch group if you're levelling with your friend. And let's go show these guys who's boss.
Angered by the attacks orchestrated by the Dragon Clan, and seemingly the armies of Isengard as well, Guto plans to take matters into his own hands.
Guto knows best. If I am not mistaken, it appears these white-hand half-orcs are behind the Dragon Clan's attacks on Tramdreng, and the villainous plan to uproot the stags once and for all. My grandfather might stand in the way of an open attack on these fiends, but it must be done. Will you stand with me, Pendulous? Follow Guto. This is no time for caution, Pendulous. We must weaken them, and then attack with our full strength. We can pick them off from the hilltop. Come, follow me. I heard something. Be on your guard, Pendulous. Someone approaches. No shit, Sherlock. Peace, Guto of Lantaran, and you, Pendulous of Distant Land. We have come only to speak with you. Speak quickly before my fists decide not to listen. You dare to threaten the Dragon Clan. Quiet, dragon. You have already broken our trust. Do not make things worse for yourself. Guto of Lantaran, please ignore my companion. We did not come here to fight. You collaborate with our bitter enemy. They invade our lands and kill our folk. This is why we have come to treat with you. This invasion has nothing to do with the White Hand. The Stag Clan is grown weak to fight us, half-orc. You waste your breath. Oh, hello. The dragons ignored our peaceful plan and devised their own violent invasion. And he's just murdered his Dragon Clan friend there. What is the meaning of this? Consider it an act of goodwill towards the Stag Clan. An apology for a misunderstanding. The Dragon Clan violated our trust. We never intended an attack upon Tramdreng, but the old enmity between that clan and yours was evidently too strong for this one's narrow mind. Our true purpose here was a mission of friendship, honest. Isengard offered his white hand to you. Saruman seeks war with the Horse Lords who stole your lands. If you join us, the clans of Dunland shall unite, with the strength of Isengard at their backs. Revenge! Revenge against the horsemen, and the clans of Dunland united as one. My people have longed for this for many generations. You must bring this message to Lantaran. My grandfather is chief, and he must hear this offer. I accept your generous invitation, Guto. I will now present you with a load screen. And I look forward to speaking with your elder. And my god, those boys talk fast in there. I can't keep up. Phew, I'm going to get a breather. Right, let's see what the elder has to say then. Ah, you have returned. Elaine was just telling me of the many victories in our lands. The elder listens with a concern as you tell him of what transpired between Guto and the half-orc emissary of Isengard. You did not trust this man, Pendulous. You have had dealings with this White Hand before now, have you? And this emissary comes here to treat with me. How interesting. So he's noted my mistrust, and we're going to, I think, observe proceedings. What do you make of this, elder? Nothing yet, my dear. I would like to hear why Guto brings this White Hand fellow to Lantaran. This way, honoured guest. Grandfather, this man of Isengard brings us great news. I do not see a man, only an orc, but you have my ear, Devodiad. I come with a message of peace from Saruman of Isengard, the good neighbour of Dunland. As I told Guto, the attacks on Tramdreng by the Dragon Clan were a terrible misunderstanding, but I have seen to it that the Dragon Clan will trouble you no more. He speaks true, grandfather. He slew the Dragon Clan chieftain for his crime of disobedience right before my eyes. I see. What then is your offer, just Devodiad? The Stag Clan should join forces with Isengard. And under Saruman's banner, the peoples of Dunland will be united. But why would Isengard wish to wage war against Rohan? Yes, Elaine. Why, indeed. To help win back your lands, of course. Do you not long to reclaim your rightful home? That's the only reason, sure. Ha, yes. I am sure Saruman once swore to help his dear neighbours, the poor misplaced men of Dunland. Saruman is so kind and good. Why did he never see it before? If mockery is all I can expect from the Stag Clan, I will trouble with you no more. Good luck with your generous roar, well-spoken stranger. You are a fool, grandfather. Hush, Guto. The elder was wise to turn that wicked man away. Our clan will never be great again. You have squandered this opportunity. Guto, wait! Oh, Guto. When will you learn? You stupid noob. Pendulous, I am troubled. I understand Guto's vision, to see the Stag Clan glorious and strong once again, living in our lands of old. But I will not compromise the integrity of my people for a dream that cannot be. That meeting with the servant of Isengard was disconcerting. I did not like the look of that man. I may have been lulled by his words, had you not expressed your immediate distrust of Isengard. I thank you for keeping me alert during that strange discourse. So there we go, we've managed to stop the Stag Clan from throwing in with Saruman, so far anyway. These are troubling times indeed. So we can travel off, and that will complete our first instance, where we've just been kicked outside of town. So I think our next quest is probably from the Elder or someone. So let's just have a wander inside and see who we have. Yep, it's going to be from the Elder. Guto's still technically here because he's wandering around town, but whatever.
Many foul things dwell in the shadows. I fear wolves will be the least of our troubles.
Elaine will find Guto and bring him back in good time, but at the moment I am more worried about that emissary that stormed back to his camp. Will you track him, Pendulous, and warn us if you see signs of retribution for our insult? We can escape to the hills if we have warning. That man did not speak of war against us, and I cannot see why they would gain from it, but I am worried nonetheless. So there's 2 pieces of jewellery and a helmet, which doesn't look too fancy. So no cosmetics of interest there. So yeah, now we need to head eastwards, pretty much along the road that leads down towards Galtreb now, so just east of the watchtower where we were previously. So let's use this brief bit of riding interlude to actually have a look once again at some of the traits. So last time we covered all the way down to the bottom of the yellow trait tree, so let's have a look at some of the yellow bonuses. So first up we have Ardour, which reduces power cost per fervor point. So for each fervor pip that we build up on our little bar down the bottom there, we reduce power cost of our skills by 5%. So if you've got 5 fervor built up, your next skill will have 25% off its power cost, which is quite nice. It just helps with your maintaining your power, because obviously once you run out of power you can't press skills, and you're pressing quite a lot of them with your AoEs. So you need 5 points in that to get that bonus. And the second one we'll cover just before we speak to this fellow. Sharpened Blades increases the initial damage of rend and increases the max number of stacks of its bleed to 5. So I don't know what it was untraded. But yeah, the bleed on this stacks up to 5 times now. It has a 20-second duration, so I think you just about managed. If you were using rend on cooldown, you can just get 5 stacks in there. I've got a cooldown of 4.2 seconds. I don't know if it can get any lower than that off the top of my head, but you can just I mean, just as the time you're applying the 5th one on that, you'd struggle to get that 5th one on, wouldn't you? Because it'd be slightly more than 20 seconds, unless it can be reduced. But I'm not sure what gives me the reduction on it already. It could well be legacies and stuff on my legendary item that might be able to reduce some of these. So, but yeah, more bleeds, more damage. Bear in mind, Rend is a 10 target AoE skill, so you apply a bleed to everyone. So it's more damage over time. You can't really argue with that. So that's the first 2. So you need 10 points for that second trait. We'll see what this guy wants first. So we had to track the emissary. Here he is. I thought I had heard the last of the I thought I heard the pitter patter of noisy feet upon the road behind me. What do you want, Pendulous? Are you here to make sure that I am not causing any trouble? Your friends in Lantaran are the troublemakers, not I, and the White Hand is swift and just to slap away its foes. Oh, have you not heard? You came the wrong way if you wanted to pick a fight with Isengard. The act of retribution is behind you, not ahead. Hurry home to your friends, Pendulous. Ha! Hurry back! Lantaran may have been attacked already while you searched for the wrong foe. Oh no. It's a trap. So what's number 3 in our tree? Flurry increase. Increases the duration of flurry and grants critical rating. So it adds 10 seconds to flurry's duration and gives you a bonus to your crit rating. That's probably a fair portion of crit rating at the lower levels, but at higher levels that's really not going to be too much. So if we find... is flurry the passive effect? I can never remember. I'm not familiar with the bloody names. I just know them all by Xing Xing and stuff. Anyway. Should we not be seeing some... there we go. Some flames and stuff in the village. Not phasing in till pretty late. You should be able to see that a bit further away. But as it is, it doesn't look too bad, actually. But whatever. So we've arrived back in town. There are clansmen on the ground, injured. Huts are burning.
As long as the sun shines, you are welcome here.
They're still quite upbeat, though, by the sounds of it. It is terrible. I cannot believe those fiends crept in here in that short time when I was chasing Guto. I was worried you were taken too. Please, Pendulous, the wounded. You have seen many battles, and surely you have some skill in healing. We must stop the bloodshed in Lantaran before we can hope to avenge the dead. So we're going to go around. I think this is the point where we have to ask them if they have any King's Foil. Or any Athelas, and they're like, no, there's no, never heard of Athelas before. Then you go, have you heard of King's Foil? They go, 'tis a weed! And it's everywhere.
The old woman of the mountain says we should not trust Vodiard.
Yeah, that's why you should not trust Avoda. They've just burnt your village to the ground. So many dead, Pendulous, all because we were not here for the one moment they needed us most. Would that I was one of them. My poor, poor grandfather. Please bury them. Lay them to rest. I do not want their cold staring eyes to look upon our home in ruin, and their kinsmen dead and dying and missing all around them. So, yeah, that's the elder there. He is face down in the dirt. He has been brutally murdered.
The Turkluth have been destroyed. I pray to the Urkwirad that we will not be next.
What have I done, Pendulous? What have I done? The village burns. My people are dead. Please help me. I am the chief of the Stag Clan now. My grandfather is dead, and I must set this right. I cannot do this alone. Help me, Pendulous. The fires. So what have we got? So we've got a cosmetic. We saw that chest piece before. The braces don't look too fancy. I don't know if they look a bit better if we dye them. I suppose there's like a little bit of a subtle pattern on there. You could maybe do something interesting with those. Third item's a bracelet, and obviously then you have the box of select a piece of gear, just in case you need something fancy. Right, so the village is burning. There's people dead and dying everywhere. So let's just go around and bandage people up. The birds seem fine though. They haven't been injured again. Now, we appear to be just burying them where they lie. That seems a bit inappropriate, but whatever. Okay, so another injured person. So we will need to go outside of the town to get a bucket. So we need to go back across the bridge, and there's the bucket just underneath the bridge. And we'll basically have to do 3 trips in there to put out fires. And we have to do it in a very specific order as well. So first off, we put the fire out on the flaming tree, which is literally just here. So we just walk up to that, we chuck the bucket on there, and one magic bucket does all the work. The second one is the fire at the Elder's Hut. So again, we pick up a bucket. Our ranger friend's just sitting there, literally watching the world burn, instead of helping defend them or do something. Since, you know, these guys, the Stag Clan, they claim their only 2 warriors are Elaine and Guto, and they were both out of town at the time. So, strictly speaking, the ranger's probably the only proper combatant that was nearby, but he did nothing. Useless bugger. There we go, so that's the oldest hut. So, put that out. I don't know if Guto gets to claim that hut as his own now. He gets an upgrade from whatever small hut he had before. And then we need to get another bucket. Now, the tree's back on fire, actually, but we don't have to put it out again. So now we'll take bucket. And it's going to be the hut in the middle of town, so that'll be dead opposite the bridge. That should be this hut over here in the middle of the screen. I think all the descriptions for where you're going should be fairly self-explanatory. So up the top here, there we go, dampen the flames. And then the fire on the northeast of town, which will be up there behind the Forge and Relic Master. I think that's the last one, I might be mistaken. So hopefully what's going to be our last bucket. Up and over we go. Now it would be nice, I mean, admittedly you can't really get down to the water's edge very nicely on this side of the river. But it would be nice if you didn't have to run so far to pick up the bucket. So yeah, there we go. This one up here. I'm stuck on a rock. I think that should be the last one. There we go, yeah. Return to Guto. Right, so let's just bury these people. So this is the second and third body, then that quest is done. And then we need to help 2 more wounded villagers. Oh no! Whoops. We thought we brought her here and it was safe. My bad, I guess. Bloodwind died with her new family, and you hope that she is now at peace. That lasted long. There we go, wounded villagers 4 of 5. 5th one's up the top, but I can probably cheese her from downstairs if I get close enough. There we go. That's 5 villagers, and then we return back to everyone.
Greetings. Will you remain here long?
Again, they stand pretty upbeat. Thank the Greenwood for your skill, Pendulous. I believe you have saved many lives today. Alas for Antenon, my poor elder. What are we to do? Please, stay with us a little longer while we get back on our feet, my dear friend. So they're not being salty and kicking us out, that's something at least. Thank you for dousing the flame, Pendulous. You have a cooler head than I when all is in upheaval. I must conquer myself. I must find a way to lead my folk. So lastly we bury the elder. And then speak to Guto. Thank you, Pendulous. This was a terrible thing that happened. We must move forward, and I hope we can have revenge as we take our next steps. 1,000 curses upon Isengard. So there we go, so that completes the wrapper for that. We've also completed the questing in Dunland segment for this area, Trumdrain. Obviously there's more quests than we need, and it's certainly worth doing them all anyway. Get a lot of bits and pieces, not just reputation with Dunland, but cosmetics and plotline as well. It's a good fun story. Thank you for all you have done, Pendulous. I see now how wrong I was to trust the words of strangers over those of my grandfather. I will endeavour to be more like him. So finish that. And then he's going to give us another quest. Or 3 quests.
Many foul things dwell in the shadows. I fear wolves will be the least of our troubles.
I was wrong, Pendulous. You saw all. My grandfather was a good man. How could Isengard do this? All the men were taken, and the rest murdered and wounded. I thought Saruman was good. We have already asked so much of you. I do not ask you to take revenge for my grandfather. I have learned a little from him, I promise. I will not seek war, and I will not seek change. There is wisdom in the way he led us. My place is here now, but if your adventures happen to take you to the White Hand encampment, well, your actions are your own. So what cosmetics we got here? So we got a little like fancy hat, which has kind of got like a little drapey bit at the back, which will slightly, I think it will alter your hairstyle as well, depending on if you've got a long hairstyle, just kind of like tuck it inside the hat a bit. There'll be a few like that as we go through. And the shoulder guards. Okay, so that's giving us like a big bit draped over our shoulders, but then also like a loose bit on the left shoulder. Bit of an asymmetrical one. Not really a fan of those, except unless it's for like a warden where it kind of fits in with their shield use and stuff, that it kind of makes sense to have an asymmetrical shoulder pad. But, right, so we'll accept that. Then we have another quest.
Do not speak the names of evil things, for you will call them.
Curse the wicked servants of the White Hand, my poor grandfather, my poor people. I will stay here and protect what is left of my people, but Pendulous, the servants of the White Hand cannot be allowed to remain in this land. Will you drive them out of Tramdrang?
Do not speak the names of evil things, for you will call them.
Many of the men of this town were taken from us, though Elaine and I did not notice until the fires were out, the dead buried, and the wounded healed. These horrid oak men from Isengard must have kidnapped them for some evil purpose. The White Hand never wanted us to join them. They just want soldiers and slaves for their wicked cause. Please, Pendulous, help us to get the men back. So then we've got 3 pieces of jewellery on that one. And our next voyage will then take us back to the Orc encampment to basically Leroy and revenge. But I think we'll stop this episode here then, and next episode we will go on a murder spree. So until then, see you guys later.